Alright, boys, welcome back. 140,000 in sales in 290 days at age 18. And this is actually what I've learned from it, the 10 lessons. So I'm filming this video on the eve of my 19th birthday, which is the reason why I'm filming it. Not only for you guys and sharing it to you, but also to look back for myself so I know what I was thinking at this age, my mindset, and what I've learned. And so I can reflect and analyze on this in the years to come. But without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Alright, lesson one, what money actually is. This took me a very, very, very long time to work out what money actually is. And it's only recently I've just discovered and truly got a grasp for what this lesson actually is. Now, I'm going to shock a lot of you when I say this, but money isn't real. And why do I say that? Alright, let's go back in time to the 1980s. I forget which year exactly, but President Nixon abolished the gold standard. So the gold standard, so since about like the 1940s or 50s, I think it was, the amount of money in circulation, or the amount of money that was held by the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States, was tied to gold, like this gold chain here, tied to actual physical gold, like gold bars, whatever, that sort of stuff. So you couldn't overspend however much gold there was, but the US decided to spend so much that they ended up abolishing this rule so that they could print more money and so that they weren't tied down by gold. Obviously, this leads to inflation and all these different economic factors, but we're not going to get into that. This isn't a fucking review of the US economy and the shitstorm it's in. But nonetheless, I digress. So basically, the government has the money to print, or has the ability to print money however much they want. And it is, at the end of the day, a piece of plastic, or it is in Australia, or a piece of paper that is like legal tender that facilitates you to exchange money for items of value. So money is basically just a value exchange. And once you understand that by providing value to someone, you get money in return, I don't think you can never be broke again, because once you learn that simple lesson, if I provide value to someone, whether that saves them time or saves them money, I'm going to make money. Okay? Let's think of any job, okay? Let's just go with a cleaner. A cleaner saves you time, and it saves you from doing something that you don't want to do. Fucking doing the dishes, vacuuming the floors, cleaning the toilets, etc. That's how they provide value. That's how they make money. Let's think of it. Let's think another job. An electrician. An electrician allows you to have lights in your house, have power in your house, have all sorts of different gadgets in the house or whatever that operate on an electrical circuit. They provide value by installing it, and so you can use it. That's how they make money. Plumbers, the same thing. Carpenters, the same thing. It's all the exact same. Even like a fucking, I don't know, like a hat maker. A hat maker is still providing value, even though it's such a strange occupation. They're providing value by making hats, which you can wear to elevate your status, or you can use in a practical sense to block from the sun. I can just keep going all day and just talk about everything. Fucking the guy makes this basketball, provides value because people go out and fucking use the ball and have fun with it. No homo. Pause. Okay. So now that we know what money is, okay, it's exchange of value. We can never be broke again. And once we understand that, we need to find our vehicle on how we're going to make money. But you should already have this by now. You should already know what you're going to do to make money. If you don't, I recommend that you fucking find out quickly what you want to do, because time is running out, my friend. Okay. Strong body is a strong mind. Lesson number 2. This one is super, super, super important. And again, I've only learnt this recently by none other than old mate we can see on the screen. Can't really talk about him on YouTube. But anyway. So, the only way you can actually work this out is by, so you say you go to the gym, right? You go for about 6 months and you're making money and you're doing well, and then you stop. You stop, and then, in my opinion, when you stop, you get lazier in the gym or whatever, so you're not going, and this translates over into your other stuff, so your business, your family life, etc., friends, whatever, social life, whatever. You get lazy in one, you get lazy in all aspects, okay? So, by not being lazy and lacking, by going to the gym, by getting a strong body, etc., it's going to be a strong mind and set you up for all aspects in your life, especially business. Especially business. I've literally found I've only just started going back to the gym, let's just say for the last 2 to 3 weeks, after like quite a few months hiatus. It's improved my sales and my desire to want to go and earn money and do business out of sight. Like, unbelievable how much it's improved it. And that's why lesson number 2 is a strong body is a strong mind. And the guy on screen is so right when he says that, because he's the one who explained to me, obviously in this video, not one-on-one, I haven't met the top G, but he talks about this all the time, and it honestly has changed my life and changed like my trajectory in my sales for this year, like 100%. Okay, another really important one. These are all important, but I need to emphasize this again to you guys, how important all this stuff is. Lesson 3 is understanding what you're selling. You need to understand what you're selling. If you don't understand what you're selling, how are you going to be able to sell it? And obviously, if you guys don't know what I do and you've never watched my videos before, I'm a reseller. I sell clothes, shoes, bags, watches, etc. I'm not going to talk about in depth what I do exactly in this video. There's other videos where you can go look at it. I've explained it in depth multiple times. But what I sell, okay, I'm just going to use what I do as business for example. What I sell isn't clothes, okay? Technically it is clothes, but what am I actually selling? I'm selling the status that comes with the clothes. So, take for example this Burberry collared shirt, okay? I'm not just selling a collared shirt, okay? On face value, you might go, yes, I'm selling a collared shirt, but what I'm actually selling is the brand name behind that and the status that it brings to someone and elevates them up, if you know what I mean. We are not selling the shirt, we're selling the status that goes with the shirt. And this is the business behind the business within reselling. And there's a business behind a business in every single business. 100%. And I've talked about this guy a lot before on my channel. Alex Hormozy, he's the one who taught me this lesson. So you need to understand what you're selling. And by understanding what you're selling, it will allow you to be able to get in the head of your customers and know what they want. Knowing exactly what they want. Okay? I cannot stress to you enough how important this lesson is. So we need to understand what we're selling in order to sell more of it and to just sell it in the first place. And that's what's allowed me to ramp up my business, especially in the last probably 6 months or so. Anyways, lesson 4, go above and beyond. Going above and beyond, especially when you're first starting, I recommend highly, because by going above and beyond, it impresses people. And we're going to get into networking in a second. By impressing people, they're going to refer you to other people, and it's going to give you more business, okay? If you go out of your way to do stuff and work hard and do the right thing by other people, they're going to do the right thing by you, and they're going to give you or their mates, whatever, like your contact, if they want to buy stuff from your business, etc. And this, remember, this just isn't for reselling alone. This is just for every single business. If you want to do like a fucking software company and you go above and beyond building a fucking, like, let's say a website for this guy, he's going to recommend you to his other buddies who need websites built. And this is how you're going to get more business and in the end get more money. By providing more value, like as we explained, money is a value exchange. By providing more value, you're going to get more back for it, okay? So lesson 4, go above and beyond, especially when we're first starting out. We can pick and choose when we go above and beyond. Once we get a little bit bigger, as I'm going to explain in a future lesson in this video. But when we're first starting out, we need to go above and beyond, working hard, just doing little extra things that people wouldn't normally think of doing, but doing it anyway, okay? Lesson 5, talk and listen to people. Very important one, and this is more the networking stuff that I'm talking about. So not only are we talking to people and having conversations about whatever, so say we go up and go to a sale and we have general chit chat, yeah, whatever, but we're listening as well. We're listening to what they're saying, what they do, who they know, this sort of thing, okay? And by finding out what they do and who they know, it can greatly, I cannot tell you the amount of times, just by talking to people and getting to know them a bit more, I find out they're a lot more important than you think. Like, I've met store owners who own like gold shops. I've met professional sports players. I'm not even joking when I say this. I've met like so many different people of different walks of life who've got different status, etc. And yeah, it's very important to be polite and talk to people, not just rocking up at a sale or whatever, and meeting a customer and just talking about business straight up. Talk to them, like ask them how their day has been, ask them what they do for a living, etc. And you never know how this might help you in the future. You never know. So it's always important to do that. And not only by talking, but by listening. You will learn more by listening than you will by talking. I know that sounds fucking basic as fuck, but if you just sit there and just listen to what people have to say, you will learn so much more than by you just yapping away. And everybody's favorite person is themselves. People love to talk about themselves and their experiences and all this sort of stuff. So by talking to people and letting them talk about themselves, not only are you letting them stroke their own ego, but they're going to like you, because when they think of you, they're going to think about, oh yeah, that guy let me fucking talk about my stuff and showcase what I've done. So he obviously cared about me, etc. So keep that in mind as well when you're meeting people and networking in all businesses. It's very important. And giving people equal status as well. Like if you know someone's important, right? Listen to them the same as you would just any random dude who you meet, a new customer who you don't even know. Because you never know who they might turn out to be or what they might become in the future. And what they might have for you going forward. So you never know what's in store for you. So treat everyone you meet respectfully and equally and politely. Number 6 is analyze your customers. This is a very important one for me. What I do, following on from lesson 5, talking and listening to people, I also analyze what people are doing and what people are like and their tendencies and what gets them going and what is going to get them to buy more from me. So if I go see a customer and I know he likes stuff that people don't have, I'm going to emphasize the point when I go see him and I want to showcase my stock that a lot of people do not have the item that they're interested in. That's going to flick the switch in their brain. They go, yep, no one's got this and I like stuff that people don't wear. I want to buy this. Whereas if I said, oh yeah, everyone's got this, and it could be the exact same item, he'll go, everyone seems to have this, maybe I won't buy it. So by analysing that customer and just doing simple stuff like this, you're going to make a hell of a lot more money than by just sitting there blankly and absent-mindedly talking to someone. You need to analyse exactly what they are and like what they do and just everything. If I know someone's got money but they're hard to set up a sale with, I'm not going to fuck them off even if they waste my time a bit, because I know once I get them to that sale, they're going to have a lot of money for me, if you know what I mean. If someone's just fucking at home on the dole and they're fucking just annoying and they fuck you around and they don't have any money anyway, just fuck them off, because you know for a fact that they've got no money anyway and they're going to keep wasting your time in the future. So don't bother with them. Analyze your customers, analyze the experiences that you have with them. If you know that they're going to be shit and they're not going to treat you respectfully and they're not going to value your time and your money, etc., then don't even deal with them. But if you know they got money, prioritize them first. And this is just basic. If you know someone that has got lots of money to spend, fucking tell them first about the stuff that you get in and your new products, etc. Not only are they going to appreciate it more, but they're going to be more inclined to pay you back for the favor of you telling them first. And then they're going to spend more on top of what they were already spending. So they're spending a lot and they're going to spend even more. Business 101 right there. So analyze your customers and know exactly what will get them to buy more. Alright, lesson number 7. Don't trust anyone except the guy in the mirror. And that obviously is you. So, yeah. I know it's a age-old adage, but don't trust anyone. Trust me. People that you think that you can trust and that you've dealt with in the past a lot, that's still no reason to trust them because they can just backstab like that. You don't know them. You know, been with them their whole life. You might see them maybe 5, 10, maybe 20, maybe even 50 times you might see a customer. But it just takes that one time for them to backstab you. They could be trying to gain your trust this whole time just so that they could fuck you over once and for all. And I've learned this many, many times before. People will fuck you over. People will rob you. People will do anything to try and get ahead of you. But not only don't trust anyone, but I've also added the guy in the mirror. Trust the guy in the mirror. So trust yourself. Trust that you know what you're doing is right. Trust your morals. Trust your values. Trust your ethics. Trust the fact that you know that you're like confident within yourself, that you know you're the best. And trust that you're going to do a good job and be confident within yourself. I know I just said that, but still, it's very important that you're confident within yourself. If you're not confident within yourself, then no one's going to believe in you. And if you don't even believe in yourself, how are you going to expect other people to believe in you? So, not only is this not about trusting other people, but you got to have trust and faith within yourself to do the right job and to make money. So, yeah, don't trust anyone else and trust yourself more than anyone. Lesson 8, think from a customer's point of view. This is also very important as well. I would say, out of all the lessons on here, this is the least important lesson. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, because they're all important, but I've just thought about it now, and this is probably the least important, because the other ones are very, very, very important. But it's always important to think from a customer's point of view too. See, by thinking from a customer's point of view, you know what's going to sell, and you know it's going to get more money in your account. So by thinking from a customer's point of view, it's always the best outlook to have on stuff. Okay, and that's basically all I can add for this. Lesson number 9: you can't please everyone. This is a very important lesson, and I've learnt this countless times as well over the past 290 days, I think I was. But yeah, you're not going to be able to please everyone. And unfortunately, that's just a fact of life. Some people are very, how do we describe it? Very, not self-centered. Well, yeah, they're self-centered, but they're very entitled. People are very entitled, and they believe that they deserve everything. They're very selfish. Okay? People are very, very selfish if you allow them to be. So, how do I put this? I'll use an analogy, okay, within my own business. There's this guy who I've been selling to recently. And I've been selling him for a long time. Selling to him for a long time. And he's put me in touch with other people and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. This guy is on Centrelink. So in Australia, that's like the dole, basically. So he gets money from the government and he doesn't work, okay? So this guy, I went and sold to him maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I did what's called a tick. So I let him have an item and knowing on the fact that he would pay me back at a certain date. And if he didn't, well then I couldn't really do business with him going forward. Okay? And so what ended up happening was he didn't pay me back. And for whatever reason, I didn't chase up with him because it's $50. What am I going to do? Go over to his house and fucking kick his door in over $50? No, sir. But this guy continued to swipe up on my stories on Instagram where I'm selling stuff. And I just thought, like, I literally said to him, bro, it's already sold, man. I just didn't want to deal with him because if I know, this is like going back to analyzing customers. If I know he's got no money and I know he owes me money, then why do I want to sell to him another item when he already owes me money? So I would just tell him it's sold, it's sold, it's sold. And eventually, yesterday, he fucking piped up and was like, oh, everything these days is sold, blah, blah, blah. And just give me all this shit. And I thought, you fucking self-entitled cunt. You fucking cunt. You fucking expect me to treat you with respect after you don't value my time or money. After I drove to your house and gave you an item that you didn't even fucking pay for. Okay? I know I'm ranting, but this is what I mean when you can't please everyone. Okay? Same thing has happened multiple times. But you're not going to be able to please everyone, especially once you get bigger. And you've got to understand that all hate comes from below. These guys hating and these guys being selfish and fucking self-centered cunts, just know that they're below you. And that they'll never be anything because they have no fucking desire to work. Like I said, this comes on Centrelink. They have no desire to do anything in their life except bitch at people when things don't go their way. And that's it. That's all I want to say on this because that's exactly fucking what goes down. Alright, lesson number 10, let me readjust, is never be satisfied. Never be satisfied, okay? So I've got a nice diagram here. Past, present, and future, okay? So the past, the guy's sad. Present, the guy's sad. Future, the guy is sad. And I'm not going to say that you're going to be sad going forward, or that you're sad now, or that you were sad in the past, but let's just say neutral. Usually life is pretty sort of flat. We have our ups and downs, but it evens out and it's pretty neutral the whole way along. We're some sort of happy. We're somewhat satisfied. And that's why most people stay the same and never grow, but that's for another time. But what this diagram fails to show is that the guy who's sad in the past is in fucking housing commission. He's on a fucking council estate. He's got no money and he's broke and he can barely scrape fucking 2 coins together. Now, present you might be in a nicer house, in a nicer area, and he might drive a pretty decent car or whatever, and he's got a little bit of money to his name, but still not a lot. But he's still not satisfied and he's still sort of like not sad, but whatever. He's neutral. But then future you is in a Lambo, in a fucking mansion in Dubai, on the palms of Dubai. He's got fucking 10 bitches, and he's the man. Everyone fucking respects him. He dresses like a G. So that's what this picture fails to show. Where this person's at in life. Okay? So, no matter where we are, we're never going to be satisfied. Even if you're the G in fucking Dubai, and you got all the money and the bitches and the fucking cars or whatever, and the nice big house and fucking whatever, you're still not going to be satisfied, and it's important to never be satisfied. The same as you shouldn't be satisfied if you're on a fucking council estate like the guy in the past. Or the same as the guy in the present, you now. You should never be satisfied no matter where you are in life. And that's just a fact. So that's really important too. So never be satisfied with where you are. But at the same time, I will add, never be greedy. Never be fucking greedy. So never go and capitalize on something that you think is too good to be true, because guess what? It pretty much always is too good to be true. Believe it or not. And I've learned this the hard way multiple times too. That's lesson 11. Never be greedy. And following on from this as well, never be envious as well. Being envy and having and channeling all these negative energies and shit like this to people is not good too. By envying people, that just tells the higher powers above that you hate money and that you don't want to be like the rich guy. And by not wanting to be the rather rich guy, or not wanting to be like the rich guy, you won't be rich yourself. You won't be successful yourself. And that's why it's important to not be envious as well. Lesson 12, never be envy. We've just added 2 more bonus lessons for you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I didn't really talk about money a whole lot. Even though that's the big hook for the video, 190k, well, no, 140k in 290 days at age 18. We didn't really talk about money a lot. We just talked about some life lessons that I've learned and how this journey of only 290 days. It's not a long time. It's not even a year. It's only about what 8, 9 months, 10 months. So yeah, that's what I've learned in about 9 months. 9 long months. Nine. It's actually only a short amount of time, but it's felt like an age, if I'm being honest. And just reflecting now, it's been a wild journey, and so actually that's a fucking lot of money in just a small amount of time. And I'm very proud of myself, and I'm looking forward to doing more in the future. And by coming back next year and saying how I made 500k in what's a year from now? What's 290 plus 365? That is 545 days. So I'm looking forward this exact time next year, saying how I made 500k in sales in 545 days at age 19. And that's exactly what I titled that video. And that's what I'm going to do. So, to all my normal viewers, thank you for watching. Any new viewers, thank you for listening to my story and my 10 lessons. Even though I probably know nothing at age 18, soon to be 19, it's still a good starting point, especially if you're around my age and you do similar stuff to me and you share a similar mindset. Yeah, if you fucking resonate with me and you got a similar mindset, feel free to message me in the comments, reach out, ask my Instagram or whatever. Happy to talk and whatever. But no worries, boys. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Much love. Bye.